welcome to Slice of Celona. I am Greg Yatman. As usual, we have Ozer Dandamashialu, who's here. He is going to take us through healthcare, private 5G, and how that all fits together. So, Ozer, let's just get right into the meat of the topic. If I am a clinical staff individual, or if I am working in a hospital in any capacity, what does private 5G or what does Celona do for me to change my job or make my job better?
Yeah, in a nutshell, I think at a very high level, we just um, influence how less of a time you spend dealing with mobile devices and trying to connect them to a wireless network. You're a clinical staff member, you're already running around trying to serve patients, you're trying to get five things done at one time. The last thing you want to do is this device connecting to the network, right? So that's the experience we want to eliminate completely. Now, how do we do that? There's already a wireless network in hospitals today. People have been building Wi-Fi networks in hospitals for a very long time, but that was the only wireless option so far, right? Patient devices go onto the Wi-Fi network. Your guests, neighbors are interfering with that Wi-Fi network. Doctors bring their own devices connected to that Wi-Fi network, and hospital-owned devices and clinical staff devices connect to that network. So that's a lot. That's a lot of devices on a single network in a single wireless lane. With private 5G, what do? Using a private spectrum for cellular wireless, you add an additional express lane on the same road. You might already have some multiple lanes on that road. Now we're adding an express lane. What does that mean? It's an interference-free spectrum. It's a spectrum where you can guarantee service levels like latency and throughput for your most critical devices and most critical apps. And it creates an additional wireless network segmentation, which might also be very useful for privacy reasons in healthcare. So you create that express lane, you move the devices that clinical staff relies on, iPhones running collaboration tools or computer on wheels that move from room to room. Maybe they can go on this express lane and we eliminate that, hey, is this thing connecting experience for clinical staff and doctors. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, Ozer, that does make sense. And I think that, we just recently, not to date us here, but we just went to HIMSS. So HIMSS 21, there were several topics that were of interest. And this was a hot topic for folks coming by our booth, attending our presentations. Security, so how secure is it? Scalability, how can you scale across my existing network? Or is it a rip and replace? Do I have to remove all this investment in Wi-Fi? And finally, convince me that this is ready for healthcare. Those were the three things that were really discussed. So maybe all those three can be encapsulated in some use cases where give us examples of how it's being done and how this is applicable.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, cellular wireless have been around for a while. So there are quite a good chunk of devices that already support the technology. Apple iPhones, Samsung smartphones, iPads, some laptops, variety of different adapters for different laptop form factors. And the list is increasing pretty significantly. Now, devices usually drive the use case, right? And the heavy adoption on the tablet and smartphone form factor, I think, is going to force us to see initial use cases being mobile device driven, iOS and Android operating system driven. Those devices, as you know, you pop in a SIM card, they can connect to a cellular wireless network. It's the same experience here. Nowadays, we also started supporting eSIM, embedded SIMs. So you take out your phone that was given to you by the hospital, you scan a barcode, and you can connect to our cellular wireless network. And honestly, once you're connected, you don't do anything else. There's no select this Wi-Fi network. Oh, I need to switch the Wi-Fi network from this to this. There's none of that. It's your SIM card, just like on your personal phone. You turn it on and it connects. You don't do anything. That's the experience. So from an ease of use perspective and for security perspective, it's actually a pretty good combo. It's an ideal combo. And in these smartphones, in these tablets, of course, there are digital applications that drive collaboration, right? I want to scan a patient's barcode. I want to download data about that patient. I want to enter my comments. So there's some business data processing within that app. Again, within that app, you might want to ask someone a question, ask another nurse or staff member, and you might want to do that in real time too, not just using chat, but maybe you just want to jump on a call or a video call to discuss that patient's record. So we see wide variety of collaboration apps that require high level of security, encryption, and privacy running on these commonly available iOS and Android platforms. And I think that's going to be the most common use case we see for a while for private LTE 5G in healthcare.
All right. So it sounds like you answered the questions that I had, and hopefully those of you who are out there listening or watching answered some of your questions too, or opened the door to conversation around Celona, private 5G, and how we fit into healthcare. I think most importantly, though, is that this is a starting place for folks. This is where they can start their journey with us, start their journey on the road to private 5G or having their own private or their own mobile network like this one behind me. So I thank you all for your time. I thank you all for your attention. And I thank you in advance for following us, for sharing, for liking, and joining Ozer and myself in the future. Until then, hope your healthcare is going great. It'll be even better with Celona. Talk soon. Bye.
Bye.